from downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Today is Friday, July 11th, 2025. It is 4:54 p.m. We're at the, and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. We're at the corner of Euclid Avenue and East 12th Street. You'd be facing East 12th Street right there. So if you went to our right, they would be headed eastward toward Playhouse Square. Got the alley building right there. And if we head to our left, that would be heading toward Public Square. So we're going to go ahead and head toward our left to kick things off. Let me try to rotate this. I actually just came from Cleveland, or the downtown dental services where I go to do my dentist. So got my teeth cleaning in. They do twice a year. Also dragging my bike along with me for the moment. I'll be putting this on the bus a little bit later. Don't have a ton of time for today's live stream, but I'm hoping to get this close to an hour. This morning when I was coming by, maybe this has been here, but I felt like it was somewhat new, saying the dog waste station, which is always nice when you see that in various parks. They have the baggies provided for you to take and dispose. Terry says, glad I caught you live. I'll be moving, so these videos will be even more bittersweet for me. Oh, moving away from Northeast Ohio? Well, hopefully wherever you're going is fulfilling. But yes, I always love seeing the viewers who used to live here and still get to get a glimpse of the neighborhoods. Even this morning I was touching base with someone who had commented on my one Thrush Park, Halloran Park, and a few other parks I had filmed video, and they were talking about like a West Denison baseball league he was on when he was younger, and I brought up like a certain family name, not my family name, but someone that I knew that was older and used to play up there, and then he was like, oh yeah, that was actually like the person who coached the team. And just reading the comments, like various neighborhoods that I'm filming, you see a lot of people chiming in with how things used to be, and I love reading that too, because you know, it teaches me things. Even though my memory's somewhat poor, you know, I have poor memory retention a lot of times. Like someone will tell me and I think it's fascinating, but then like 10 minutes later I'll be like, darn it, what did they say that was? We're walking to Euclid Avenue and East 9th Street right now. We got Heinen's to our left in the old Cleveland Trust building as the sun is now out. Good afternoon, Linda. Oh, look at this car speeding through. It's kind of fun to witness things in action. I remember one time I was in Utah, I was like there live, just about based on pure coincidence, when they were removing the Donovan Mitchell, one of the Donovan Mitchell murals that they had up in Salt Lake City because he had been traded to the Cavaliers. So like to be there at that precise moment on a coincidence, I was like, I think I did ended up doing a short that I uploaded to YouTube. But the reason I'm bringing it up is this morning when I was on my way to work, from a distance I could see they were removing like the final pieces of scaffolding in front of the City Club Apartments. I know it's not called the City Club Apartments anymore, they have an official name to it, but I think it's like Sky something. We gotta go see what it's called, but it's nice that the scaffolding is down here and you can actually walk through and free again. They still have it up along the edge here. Oh, Linda says Shocking Guy is live too. Where is he at? He doesn't happen to be downtown, is he? I know he goes live all the time, but a lot of times it's either in his car or at his home or wherever he's doing like a repair. Skyline 776. That's the name of this. I think they finished like the rooftop. Oh, of course we're not going to see it here, but like the rooftop might have been a pool and like, you know, just the general area where you can enjoy the rooftop of this place. So go on Twitter or X and see some renderings of that. Well, I guess they're not renderings anymore, but it'd actually be the finished product. Linda says Shocking Guys at home. Gotcha, thanks. I had thought about doing like a later lunch break and doing a live stream earlier today, but with the dentist appointment coming up, because that was at 4 o'clock, I just ended up waiting. But then I do have a tighter window. I haven't decided what I'm going to do Monday after work. Could potentially explore another part of downtown Cleveland live, or maybe I'll find a certain neighborhood to try to do some video work in. Hey, Shocking Guy. Thanks for tuning in. So you have the multiple cell phones going? You're live and chatting? I'm always afraid to exit out of my app. Even though I've done it a few times to snag a picture, it always gives me this like warning message as if I'm screwing things up. There's the beacon across the street. Actually, you know what, maybe I do go on Euclid a lot, but I wanted to point something out on Superior this morning.
Are you recording for YouTube?
Oh, yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What's your account? Can I have it?
Oh, yeah, sure. It's a Poco Traveler.
Let's spell it.
Yeah, P-O, or let me know when you got it up. P-O-K-O.
P-O.
K-O.
K-O.
And then the word Traveler.
Word travel.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yep.
Have a good one.
Thanks, you too. There you go. Always nice to pick up a new viewer on the fly.
That's going to be YouTube.
Yeah, it's actually live right now.
Oh, is it live?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. You too. Shocking Guy says the contractor got the approval. Oh, you're talking about the Skyline. Got the approval to open the pool up for tenants. I'm hoping that they're gonna have that rooftop bar open someday. I'd like to go up there. Yeah, it's funny because even though I follow a lot of Twitter accounts, I think when you retweeted it and talked about it, that's how I actually came up and stumbled into that thing, or that little tidbit. Lizzie says, are you going to see the new Superman movie that came out today? I want to see it, but it'll probably end up being like me and the wife and the kids, and so I don't think I'm going to see it immediately. It'll probably be like at least a week or two after it's out. I mean, I know it's out now, but I mean, as far as the time range of when I see it. Got a couple cars trying to exit here. Shocking Guy regarding the two phones says, yeah, two phones, they jump out of the stream quite a lot sometimes, and as long as you get back fairly quick, it's okay. Sometimes it crashes and it's gone. Yeah, that's my fear, it's crashing. Well, I always say like, oh, I'm gonna get a second cell phone one of these days, but then it's like, if I get a high quality cell phone and another plan to it, it's like, man, cost of that's gonna add up. so I still haven't gotten to that point where I'm venturing into a second cell phone. If I did do it, I'd probably like borrow the wife's phone if I truly plan something out ahead of time. So we are walking down Superior, passing the Leader Building and Guy's Pizza. We got the window clings up so you really can't see into Guy's Pizza until you get further down here on the corner. One slice and any small salad, cookie, or pop. So I guess it's a slice of pizza, a salad, and a cookie or pop for $10. I remember back when they first opened, I think it was $1.50 just for one slice. That price has jettisoned up over the years, just like a lot of things have gone up in price. Alright, but here's what I wanted to show, because it's something new. Over the past couple of weeks, they opened the library shop. So it's across the street from the main library. As you should know, those two buildings, the Lewis Stokes wing and then the original one, I think the library store used to be located maybe in that area. Could be wrong. Maybe they've changed it a few times over the years, but now the library shop is located here in the old arcade. It's open Thursday through Saturday from 10:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Although it does look like they're open now. So those, yeah, someone's in there right now. That's the guy I think who operates the shop. Yeah, if you ever feel like checking that out, go ahead. I know I had seen someone did a little feature on that and him online, and he was very eager to welcome visitors. What is this? Rising Star Coffee Roasters, July 7th to 13th, has a limited time superhero affogato. I guess that's in celebration for the Superman movie being released. Yeah, there's been a lot of features if you look at articles online, like James Gunn being interviewed and other people celebrating how much Cleveland's been featured. Allocated Brain says, hi there, I was downtown this AM, and what is that thing next to some users? So is there... sorry, what was I going to do? Oh, I was going to point out, I swear I haven't seen this sign up here before that says public parking. Either it's new or it just hasn't been turned on before. The red portion where it's got the flashing public parking sign. So that was another thing that I thought was new this morning. Am I riding on the sidewalk? I am walking on the sidewalk. I want to invest. I've never looked it up. I know Action Kid has done it a few times. I think it would be interesting to invest in a thing that mounts on the bike and can hold my cell phone, although I imagine the footage would be a little shaky. But that might be interesting to do, like a riding live stream through downtown every so often. The only thing about that is, when you're riding, it makes it a little more challenging to engage in the comments. But I think it's worth experimenting with. But going back to... Oh, Allocated Brain says handlebar videos suck, do not bother. Yeah. Maybe actually not the handlebar one, that's not what I meant. I meant the nice and stable, although I use my high quality stabilizer. I think if I just flat out attach the phone into a chest mount. I'm back to what you said, Allocated Brain. I'm not sure if it's showing up in the live stream. I saw YouTube sent an email this morning as if it was like a new feature about something called a leaderboard in live chats, and it was like trying to measure level of engagement that people did during a chat, or if they sent super chats or various other things. I don't know how they calculate it. So if you're seeing something that looks different, it could be that, but can't say for sure since I can't actually see like what the normal desktop view of a live chat would be. Transit Life 2.0 says it was nice meeting you. Oh, so if that was you who I was talking to earlier, yes, nice meeting you too. Thanks for tuning in and hopefully subscribing. What else did I miss? Lizzie says, I can't ride a bike if you paid me. If you're able to, it's, jeez, a bird, I was watching it from my right, it was going to fly right into me. Yeah, if you're able to, it's still nice. One of the new things that came out a few days ago were these, they have now more chairs and tables around the splash pad at Public Square, but possibly more important for the summertime, the umbrellas. So that's a nice addition. Oh, Transit Life 2.0, nice meeting you back in the winter. Yeah, so that's a nice shot with all the umbrellas up, and you can imagine it's actually a little bit overcast today, but if it was, I mean, it would still feel good having a little bit more shade. But if it was during the beating sun, you want to grab a bite to eat, you know, shade always makes it significantly better. Now we'll cross to the other side of the square that's unified now that it has these bollards, not the ugly concrete barriers. Public Square concert series is Wednesdays, July through September. Looks like at 5 p.m. One of the reasons I swung down this way was to check out the Sherwin Williams construction. I know I've shown this a lot of times in past live streams over the past few years, but I feel like I haven't focused on it for the last several months. I could be wrong. You can see the Sherwin Williams sign up there. I still say I thought they were going to have, like, next to the Sherwin Williams font, I thought they were going to have their actual red, blue, and white logo. And eventually they should be adding that strip, I think, that can be lit at various times of the year that goes up and down the building. It's just a very thin strip that'll help add to the color. Also, I haven't caught it yet, but every evening, I think from when it turns dark to 11 p.m., they have a big light show that happens in downtown Cleveland's Public Square. So this whole area would be fun to capture that once. I don't know if it would necessarily turn out good on video, but nonetheless, it would still be fun to see in person. Alright, so the sidewalk is kind of blocked off on this part, but you can get up to it here fine. So you see the progress that's been made on the small section, the small, like, two-story Sherwin Williams building. You remember before, when I used to try to get peeks of it, I had to go down by the driveway and see in, because they still had all the vinyl things covering the fence, so you really couldn't see in. Now you can pretty much see in. I mean, it looks like, you know, it's very much closer to a finished product. They've laid the concrete for the outside. I'm assuming they'll be planting grass in a lot of these. They've got several of the little trees up as we see the landscaping start to come to fruition. And then on the Sherwin Williams main building itself, no more exterior blemishes, meaning no more wooden things that are remaining that they had to cover up. So it's like all finished. Although, like I said, I still am a little, maybe it's already there and I just don't know where it's at. I thought they were going to have something that lights up going up and down the whole building. You got the interlink. It looks like it's completed. Yeah, Perishable Goods 13, I was gonna, and Lizzie, you're both bringing up the same thing. I was gonna talk about that. So sadly, there's a third piece of this. There's this building, there's the big building, but then behind that, behind the interlink, just right over there, is where the parking garage is. And overnight, someone passed away due to some type of construction accident where I believe it was saying a forklift fell on him and like trapped him, and he passed away. So unfortunately, that was a sad headline to wake up to. You know, I wanted to showcase this area without, ideally you want to showcase an area without talking about someone having passed away, but nonetheless, it was a news story across most of the networks this morning. But as we jump back to the Sherwin Williams building again, this is more about getting the view again without all that vinyl, because you remember in previous months I'd have to like find the one hole that was torn in it and be like, oh yeah, we can see a glimpse of it. You got more of the landscaping here. This might be more what they're aiming for over there. I was saying like, oh, maybe they'll have grass over there, but it'll probably be the what do you call it, mulch with the various plants and greenery embedded in between. It looks like you'll have your spiral doors to get into the main building right here, the rotating doors. Maybe in the middle you'll have just pull-out doors. I mean, since we're so up close to it, there's not much to see from this, from the ground level. I'm still curious what the inside is going to look like as far as an atrium. Like, I don't know, are they going to have a big or semi-big atrium? Is it going to be something that the public can come in and kind of like enjoy if they wish to? But actually over here it looks like they're going to have grass, so maybe they will have grass in that other part. You can see right there like the patches of grass that are being grown. There you go. Bikers get their bike infrastructure. Got some bike racks on the, what I presume will be like a back parking lot here. They still got trailers for the construction zone. I know like a year or so ago there were speculation like, oh, maybe they'll build a Sherwin Williams Headquarters building number 2 because they've already like outgrown this tower that hasn't even been filled yet. Or not, shouldn't say not filled, but it hasn't been fully occupied. Some more grass over here. Well, it looks kind of weird, doesn't it? You got this, I wonder if they're going to keep it, that thinner gray fence. Like, that looks like a neighborhood, as if you're in like the inner city. You got like a gray fence surrounding it along with the grass. Then all of a sudden you look up and you're like, boom, you got the Sherwin Williams Headquarters building in Tower City. But if I just like started a video showing this, I mean, ignore the construction fence, but if I showed this and the bushes and the grass, you'd probably think I was in someone's backyard. I wonder if this is that like temporary construction material that they had, like security cameras and other things. Or is that material that's being, is that maybe they'll, like again, is that excess stuff or is that stuff still to be used somewhere? Hopefully they're better with their fireproofing that caused the delay inside the main building. Now, something that I'm not going to get to cover in today's live stream, and actually now that I think of new development that's going to be taking place near Rocket Arena, so maybe look forward to that on Monday perhaps. Yeah, there's the parking garage that the incident occurred in, as we're now near the west bank of the flats. Sorry, when I said west, I don't know why I said west bank of the flats. I mean the, why am I losing the warehouse district? That's what I meant to say. My mind was on like autopilot, thinking about different spots in downtown. Sounds like you've got a funny bus over here. Oh, they still have the, one of the few spots you still have that covering on the fence that for the past few years has been showing the glimpse of what it will look like, but we're a lot closer to reality now. Yeah, maybe here's a second one of these. Again, maybe these have been here for a bit, especially since you see the sign is like bent. It doesn't look like it was just installed yesterday, but I hadn't noticed them in the past, but that's good to see. I wonder how many of those doggy bag stations they have throughout downtown Cleveland. Now that I'm in the sun only, I can feel that heat picking up a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if that news camera right there, it looks like it's channel 19, so she's probably reporting on the fatality from the parking garage. Speaking of Superman, I believe I read that it might be August 2nd, but don't quote me on that. Somewhere around August 2nd, around August 2nd, they are planning on installing and unveiling the Superman statue on that little plaza outside the Huntington Convention Center. It should be like a silver statue of Superman along with a little statue of a phone booth, and I think there might have been one other element to it. And they're gonna have like a mini ceremony for it. So I don't know when I'll get around to filming that, but if I'm here sometime in August, I'm sure I'll pass by that. I'll probably do like a special short video dedicated exclusively to that, but yes, it'll be on that corner right there. Yeah, so again, somewhere on this plaza they'll have the statue itself, the phone booth, and something else. I think I speculated before they already have like a little pavement block over there. I know there's a pavement block here too, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be included in it. By the way, it has been saying that my device is too hot, which happened last time I did a live stream during a lunch break. So forgive me if the quality of the stream is impacted a bit. I actually haven't seen any comments come in for a while, so I wonder if that has maybe also prevented me from seeing comments. I'll have to make a mental note of that on Monday. Try to keep the stream a little bit within this range of a half hour or so. Oh, the comments are working. Lizzie says, just listening to what you're saying. Thank you, Lizzie. Someone earlier had mentioned staying at the Hilton, which we're passing by right now. Although, again, since I'm so close to it, you're not really getting the nice view of... You could probably be fooled and think that's Sherwin Williams building number 2. With the glass exterior, although definitely not as tall, as we're now on Lakeside Avenue, outside of the Cuyahoga County Courthouse building. Let's see what the pulse says. I don't know if you can read that. 124 beats per minute. That's just from walking. I don't feel tired whatsoever, but anytime you walk and it's a hot day, you're to get that pulse rate elevated. longer light here. Crosswalk over there says you got about 6 seconds left. Trying to get over the other side where there's some shade. There we go. You can see Alexander Hamilton, 1757, 1804. Thomas Jefferson, 1743 to 1826. Linda says, aren't you using the bike? No, I'm still just walking on. I mean, I'll probably end the live stream soon, and that's where I'm going to throw this on the bus and then utilize it. But right now I'm not riding the bike. It's not like super hot to where it's like anything horrible. It's just when you're standing in the sun, you get a little bit heated. See the nice flowers. And right now I'm pulling over here because I'll probably just end up waiting for my 55 bus. But let me scroll through some of the comments here that I missed. AK says, missed the first part of your live stream is watching the Guardians beat the White Sox. Yeah, I saw, wasn't it, back-to-back home runs again, like in the second inning from, I think, Sheeman and Martinez. Lizzie says, when was the Hilton built? The exact year escapes me. I feel like it was roughly a decade ago, but sometimes time flies. And like, what was it the other day? Oh, my brother and I were looking up on we were looking up Jim Carrey movies on Wikipedia, and we've never seen Dumb and Dumber 2, as in T-O, like it's technically the third one in the series, but actually the second one that Jim Carrey did. And we looked at the release date, and it said 2014, I think, and we were both looking at each other like, what? Like we thought we were watching a trailer for that yesterday. It's been out for like 10 or 11 years already, and we haven't seen it or peeked at it. So yeah, time flies in a lot of regards when you think of those things. Joseph Kendall says, happy Friday, nice flowers. Lizzie says, are those petunias? I am not a flower expert, so someone else is gonna have to chime in on that. Brutus OSU says, the nice thing about the Hilton is the tunnel connecting to the Huntington parking garage. Yeah, I'm sure that makes it very nice for conference people. Speaking of which, finally, I mean, I think a lot of conferences have moved to downtown Cleveland over the years, but with the IX Center officially like being sold or closing or whatever the deal is with that, I'm sure that's going to strengthen even more conferences downtown, which the hotels should be happy about. And then I'll try to do some more planning on Monday when I maybe can give, along with my narration, some more talking points about the tug of war that seems to be going on when you've got the Cleveland Browns stadium moving to Brook Park in a few years, whenever they build it. But it sounds like that's going to be pretty finalized with the funding they've got. But then you have like Dan Gilbert and the Rocket Group sort of strengthening downtown. I mean, I haven't even had a chance to point out like the big training facility and health center that they're building related to the Cavaliers and sports athletes down below the river, below like Tower City and the Flats. And then you've got the Cosm Cleveland that he's bringing across from the Rocket Arena. That's going to be an attraction itself that the Haslams actually lost out on because it was in their rendering for Brook Park. They thought they were going to get it. So yeah, I'll try to have a lot more to talk about on Monday when I plan things out. Free21 says, hi Poco, first time tuning in, enjoying this. Thank you very much for tuning in. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Linda says it's moving for real. Yeah, the Browns, I'd say now with the funding and everything that's transpired, it's probably like I would say like a 99.9% chance of happening. It seems like a lock. I mean, there's still some like lawsuits going on and little things. I don't want to call them petty because it's tough to pick a side. I mean, the state basically just, for their convenience, amended the Model law to say, oh yeah, it can actually move into a suburb of Cleveland. Don't worry about what the initial law was. And the unclaimed funds thing, like perishable goods 13 mentions. Yeah, that's a good point. I should bring that up on if I prepare for Monday too. Boy, I hate to tune out when I've got 41 viewers tuned in. But one of the negatives of not having a paper bus pass like this and doing an electronic bus pass is it's on my phone, so I need to take it off my phone. Let me do this. I'll still somewhat keep it on, but I'm going to take my gimbal off for a second here so I can at least this is how I keep my cell phone views stable when I'm filming. Just attach the phone to that. This is actually pretty old. I've had this for 4 years. They've come out with probably better ones over time. Let me set my phone down real quick. Sorry, I just had to throw that in my backpack. You can see got motorcycle lock. My dad had gotten this way back when he had a motorcycle. God, he probably got it like 30-40 years ago. We've just used it as a bike lock, a very firm bike lock. You can see one time we parked it somewhere and someone still tried to cut it in some capacity. But this thing's tough. I don't know if how easily you're gonna get through that compared to a normal bike lock. But when the bus comes, you know, I'm gonna need to, since I only have a little bag with me, I'm gonna put this on my shoulder and then put the bike on the bus. Brutus also added that the current site has huge potential. Rock Hall getting its expansion too. Yeah, the current site of, you know, the Brown Stadium, it could work out for everyone because yes, with the stadium as it is now, if they weren't gonna get a dome on it there, it is kind of taking up a huge portion of the lakefront. But the question is, are they truly going to get all the funding they need and the development? And, you know, I don't know if they would have stores or restaurants. Are they going to get all those people on board to truly build a lakefront that people are going to use? Like, you don't want them to do something that's just like a big open grass field and it's just deserted. Joseph says the Guardians need owners that will spend money. Yeah, I was talking to my buddy Wayne. I mention him a lot of times on streams, but he's a Guardians fan. And he was wondering if they're going to try to trade Class A, because he's like, you know, some of these contending teams could have an eye on him. And he's like, the Guardians, you know, as much as we want to see the Guardians make the playoffs, unless we turn things around, it's gonna, I mean, granted, we're 4.5 games out of the wild card, but it's like, do we have the type of offense to win in the playoffs? If not, then you're kind of like keeping yourself just alive to not improve your team, perhaps long term. I would still keep Class A, even though we have a few other solid relievers in there. That always seems to be the talk of a Guardians fan, including, like, hey, with Steven Kwan, we got lucky, very lucky, that Jose Ramirez was willing to take a hometown discount, so to speak. But the odds of Kwan doing that, or any other player for that matter, who's like a superstar caliber, all-star player, I'd say not very good. See, normally if I was here just by myself, what I'd be doing is opening the RTA Transit app and saying, okay, when's the next 55 bus gonna come? You know, then I'd be surfing on my phone. But like I said, I could exit the app, but don't want to risk, even though I'm close to ending this whenever I see the bus coming. Oh, Joseph said, what did I say I'll do Monday? I'm contemplating on Monday doing a video across from Rocket Arena, kind of starting in that area, and then also downloading. I don't think they have COSM renderings for the Cleveland location yet. Maybe they did have somewhat of one. Maybe it was like a slight rendering for the downtown Cleveland one. And then what I could do is also take the one, I think it was from Dallas, where they have the actual site located, and show like a screenshot of that. And then I'll do some more research on what COSM is and talk about what would be coming to that corner and what else they're planning on developing, and then just touching base a little bit more on the whole Browns leaving versus, I'll call it the Cavs, because it kind of is like the Cavs strengthening their presence in downtown Cleveland. Lizzie says Tomei was one of those players who left for money. I know that's funny you mention that, because I'm sure there were other players, but like when that happened with Tomei, that was like one of the first ones when I was growing up that it was like a big deal. Like, oh my God, like Jim Tomei, I can't believe, you know, he left us. We were heartbroken. And he gave that speech saying like, oh, my wife is my rock. I just remember that quote for some reason. And then you had some other random money situations over time, like Carlos Boozer. Wasn't there some type of like handshake deal where he was supposed to, or we did something thinking he was going to come back to us, and he ended up screwing us and signing with, was it Utah Jazz? Can't remember who he signed with exactly now. I should say, I do not, if the money's there, like I can't blame any of these players for taking the big contract and not doing a hometown discount. It just sucks that that's, you know, if you're in a certain market like Cleveland with the owners we have, and I don't even necessarily blame the owners. I mean, it's crazy how much money these ball players make, but some teams, owners, and cities are like, hey, we'll spend whatever. Other teams don't. That's kind of what makes baseball unique with the salary cap with other sports. Basketball, football, it's more balanced out. Everyone's on a leveler playing field. I know a lot more about the football salary cap. Basketball still confuses me, but I've never quite tried to learn the nuances of it. You know what's funny? Believe it or not, holding the phone with a gimbal, because you have your arm lower, is like you don't feel anything in your bicep getting work. But like when you just are only holding the phone and you're holding it up, your arm gets kind of tired pretty quickly. Alright, well, I appreciate all you guys tuning in. I'm hoping to film something over the weekend too. I don't think it's going to be a live stream. It'll be some of those like pre-recorded ones, but I'll see how the weather goes out. Goal is to at least get one video in somewhere over the weekend. And in fact, I see the 55 coming now, so I'm going to go ahead and end this so I can grab my bus pass. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time.